Welcome to CSI Cooking Specialty Ingredients. Hi, I'm Sarah. This educational video for the Hospitality Education Foundation of Georgia has been made possible by a grant from the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program at the U.S. Department of Agriculture and funding from U.S. Foods and Dexter Russell. Hey Chef, what are we making today?
We're going to roll into a pickled fruit.
Great, let's get started.
So what we have here is one of the great Georgia crops, which is apples.
You can pickle apples.
Absolutely, you can pickle just about anything you can come up with. So right now it's going to be apples because it is one of the great heritage crops of Georgia that's grown in the North Georgia mountains.
All right, it looks like we have different apples here. What are they?
So we do. So this is a Crips Pink, which is also known as a Pink Lady, which is is one of the really cool apples that's grown up in the mountains. And then we also have a Granny Smith and a Fuji.
How do you know what kind of apples to pick?
And we got 2 more to go. There we go, and we're good right there.
All right, Chef, so we're making our liquids now?
We are. So our first step in this one, we're going to use apple cider as well as the apple cider vinegar, which is fermented apples. Bring that to a boil, and we're going to add brown sugar and a tablespoon of honey to that as well. Perfect. We're going to add some thyme, a tablespoon of the green cardamom, and we're going to let that steep.
And it's okay to just put the whole pot in there.
It is, absolutely. It's going to create a lot of that lemoniness.
All right, anything else that we're going to add to this?
We're going to add a bay leaf and a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're going to go ahead and let that steep.
What are we making next?
All right, so the next one we're going to make a vanilla bean and star anise for pickling liquid for our other apple. So we're going to go ahead and get our burner on, and we're going to add our apple cider vinegar and our apple cider.
Do we put a sugar in now?
Brown sugar, absolutely. We're also going to add our star anise, which are these great looking pods.
They are licorice.
You can go ahead and add them.
Reminds me of fall.
It does. And apples, you know, they're available in Georgia. It's always important to buy it as locally as you can. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of reasons for that.
It's fresh.
Definitely that flavor is there.
Should we add our vanilla?
Vanilla tends to cook out very easily, so we want to kind of add it closer to the end. We can go ahead and add our vanilla, and when we do that, we're going to turn down the heat to just a nice simmer, and we're going to let that go for about a minute, just so those pods can release a little bit more of their flavor. While that's steeping, we'll go ahead and we can get our apples. If you wanted to process your apples first, what will happen is they will turn brown.
Oh yeah, not as pretty.
Not as pretty, absolutely. So, and if you did process them before, what you want to do is soak them in something acidic.
Like lemon juice.
Like lemon juice, or in this case, apple cider vinegar would be a great option because that's what we're pickling with. So you would use that same ingredient all the way through, and then it wouldn't affect the end result of the apple.
Great.
We're going to take one of our Pink Lady apples. So our first step's in our mise en place, and we're going to peel it. All right, so our next step We're going to dice it here. You could do a medium dice, you could do a large dice. If you wanted to get it done in a small amount of time, small dice it.
All right. What apple are we doing next?
All right, the Granny Smith apple or the green apple. It's a little bit tart. It's not mealy. That make it well suited for this.
So how do you want us to do these?
You can do a nice julienne on them. That way we kind of show that the cut can match whatever dish that you're preparing. There we go, and we're good right there. We actually prepped our apples, so we have them soaking in some of that apple cider vinegar. I'm going to go ahead and strain these, and we'll get all that excess vinegar off. And you can see how the color didn't change. They still are nice and crisp. Turn it up and bring it to a good boil. There we go. And then we can go ahead and pour it right over the top of our apples. This is what happens when you add heat.
It releases the liquids like a sponge.
All right, so we've got our beautiful Granny Smith apple here soaking in some apple cider vinegar. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and strain this for you while you're finishing up that liquid.
Should I turn it up?
Bring it just to a boil, and then you can go ahead and cut it off. You really get that licorice and vanilla.
Yeah, I got the vanilla.
And the apple cider and the apple cider vinegar. And what we're going to do is you can give it a good stir to make sure all those spices are down there.
It smells really good.
We'll get them ready for tasting.
All right.
We've got our pickled Granny Smith apple. You can see where that pickling has started to take place.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the color, and you can see how they've started to wilt, and we need to strain it out.
Should I put on gloves for this?
You're not going to be touching it, so you can dump it out of into the strainer. And you can smell all that vanilla and all that aroma that's come out.
It's very good.
And then we've got 2 plates sitting here ready to go for you.
Smell the licorice in it too.
And you can see all the vanilla seeds that are spread throughout. So this is our cardamom and thyme. And we can go ahead and strain that one out.
I smell the thyme and the bay leaf.
So we moved on to the portion where we get to try all of our work.
Great.
So let's start with the vanilla and the star anise.
I love the vanilla.
You're getting that nice licorice.
Mm-hmm. It's not too strong.
You get the juiciness of the apple.
Mm-hmm. You still have the crispness, but yet it also seems like it's really absorbed a lot of flavor.
It has. So next we'll move on to our pink lady apples.
Very different flavors.
Get a lot of lemony and citrus. You know, it'd be great on a salad with some local goat cheese, local pecans, things along that line.
I can imagine that. All right. Well, this was very successful.
Absolutely.
Hey, chef. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. What other fruits would you use?
You can use pears, you can use plums, peaches would be great, nectarines, grapes.
Oh, that's good to know. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. Hey, chef.
You'll know it's pickled when it's got the same flavor from the outside to the inside.
Oh, that's good to know. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. What spices do we have?
Have you ever had cardamom?
I don't believe I have.
All right, so there's actually 3 different kinds of cardamom. So you have green, which is very citrusy, and that's what we're going to use today. It's going to match perfectly with our thyme. There's also black cardamom, which if you want to go ahead and take a smell, it's got a very
smoky,
distinct smokiness to it. So it would add itself well in any kind of barbecue dishes or anything along that line. Beef jerky, it would be a great addition as well. And actually inside of these great pods are actually a bunch of different seeds.
Oh.
So you have the opportunity to mortar and pestle it, or you can break it up and get those seeds out. However, you would want to strain it through some kind of cheesecloth, as those are very, very hard, almost like rocks. And then there's also white cardamom, which is used more in baking or things where you wouldn't want the black color or the green color. And it's bleached green cardamom, and it has very little flavor. You know, one thing with cardamom, where we talked about with other spices, is cardamom loses its flavor quicker than anything else. So you really want to buy the product in its whole pod, or if you had to buy it as a seed form, that's better than the ground cardamoms tend to lose a lot of their flavor and a lot of that great aroma that you're looking for.
So you can't keep it for a couple years.
No, you definitely wouldn't want to keep it for a few years, and you'll know as you go to prep whatever you're doing, you can tell by the smell. You know, if you pick it up and it has no smell to it, then it's probably time to hit the market.
Oh, that's good to know. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. Hey, chef. Could you use the liquid for something?
You could, because we did this in a quick pickling. You could use the liquid again. You could also, this is great in a salad dressing because you already have the vinegar and you already have the sweetness and you've got all that flavor. So if you were doing a salad with some grated cheese and some strawberries, some nice berries from Georgia, you could use this as the base of your dressing.
Yeah, pull all those flavors together again. So thank you, Chef, for showing me how to use these specialty crops.
Absolutely.